Right, welcome everybody from all over the world to another episode number 12 of Skills and Mindset. I'm excited because today we're going to be talking about specifically a certain aspect of the mindset that I really like, really enjoy, and that I know that if you see and take a look at this and get a different perspective, you're gonna have different outcomes when it comes to building your business and when it comes to applying your mind and your mindset to all the skills that we've seen so far. So I invite you to go on the YouTube channel if you're watching the replay, if you're watching it live on my YouTube. I'm gonna post this video and there's gonna be a playlist. All right, check them out from episode number 1 till 12, which is this one. Right, so really excited to drop our number 1 in the chat if you're ready to check this out. If you're excited to learn a little bit about what we're gonna watch today and how we're gonna apply shift in our paradigms, because that's what I'm bringing you guys, bringing you the opportunity to shift a little bit of the perception that we have on our mind and on our mindset, and how we can apply the different aspects, the positive, the negative, the right, the left, the up, the down, in order to have a more successful business. So faith versus fear. Okay, I really like this because it's a topic that caught my attention the first time I heard that faith and fear are exactly the same. They both demand from you to believe in something that doesn't exist. And that's so true, right? When you're a faithful person, you're believing in something that you can see. You don't know if it's real or not. Like for a fact, you might have enough faith to be convinced that it's something that is real. That also happens with fear, right? You can believe in something that is not there. You can think something bad is going to happen. You can be afraid of something that you cannot see at all. It might be there, might not be there. And that's what excites me about this. Why? Because faith and fear is the exact same feeling, but opposite. One's positive and the other one's negative. One's going to move you ahead, the other one's going to keep you stuck. And therefore, by consequence, it's going to cause you fall behind. So let me tell you this. I kind of mentioned it a little bit before at the beginning, and faith and fear are equal. They both require you to believe in something you cannot see, okay? So they are the same, they just point in different directions. You get to choose which one it is. You get to choose if the uncertainty of the moment, if you decide for that to be your faith in your heart, or if you decide that that's going to be something that you're going to be afraid of and don't move forward. So just know that they're the same, just pull in different directions. But what's important about fear is that keeps you stuck, right? Fear keeps you stuck. And it's probably keeping you stuck right now if you are in any type of situation, because we always are overcoming fears. And that's the beauty of life. Every time you overcome an obstacle, overcome a fear, a new one might show up, all right? And probably most likely will show up. And it's the ability to deal with fear and overcoming it. And that's where progression is found. Progress is found beyond fear. Fear stands for false evidence appearing real. All right, false evidence. Remember, we talked about this. Faith or fear is false evidence. You don't have the proof, you don't have the facts, you don't have the evidence. So you get to choose if you're going to be faithful or if you're going to be fearful, right? So what do you prefer? What would you do if you were not afraid? Okay? What do you prefer, faith or fear? And also, what would you do today, right now, if you were not afraid of failing? If you were not afraid of judgment, if you were not afraid of anything that can come through your mind and you might be feeling right now. If you were not feeling that way, if you're not afraid, if you were not scared, what would you do? How would you act? And let me tell you, whatever answer it is, remember, fear is false. So you can apply the actual thought that you had when you ask yourself, what would you do if you were not afraid? Okay, because we know if fear, if fear is not real, then you don't have a reason to be afraid, right? So think about that question because it's really, really important. Now we're gonna see where fear comes from. That's really important to understand because that way we can identify different things, different patterns, and start eliminating that. And I think one of the main ones is the perceived negative judgments from people you don't even know, you don't even talk to, you don't even care about. It's trying to impress people, and that's one of the most common mistakes, right? Trying to impress people that don't even mean anything special to you. So the perceived negative judgment for people you don't even know, you don't even talk to, right? A lot of people are fearful of that. Crazy, right? But it is what it is. Other people's opinions, all right? That includes the people that you know, the people that are around you, the people are in your environment, which if it's negative, I highly encourage you to eliminate that environment, create a new one. The beautiful thing is that you and I who are connected over here, you watching this, we have a amazing community of support, of people who are backing you up, people who are serving you, people who are, we all serving each other, we're contributing, and that is just fantastic. That's just amazing. Okay, so other people's opinions don't matter, they don't pay the bills, they don't serve you well if they're negative. Okay, if they're positive, yeah, they might help you feel a little bit better, but they're still not going to pay your bills and they're still not going to add on to the actions that you take when the fear is not there. All right, so other people's opinions cause fear in people, right? So a lot of times we as human beings we see every little detail and we maximize it. Why? Because we're so focused on the present, on the right now, that we have a tiny thing right here, a tiny problem, and that's the only thing we see it. We focus on it, and everything revolves around that problem. All right, the problem might be this big. The world is the world, but if I completely focus on my problem, and that's all I'm gonna see. So that's when you maximize situations that are small into huge deals. That's what's gonna cause fear in everything you do. All right. So take a step back, take a look at your problem, situation, take a look at your fear, and analyze how big is this? How meaningful is this? Is this really gonna impact me? Is this really going to to signify a failure or some negative, or is this fear genuine, or is it even real? Right? How likely am I to fail over here? And why am I scared of this situation? Is this situation going to have an impact in my next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of my life? A lot of times, and I would say probably over 90% of the time, the situation is no, it won't. So who cares, right? Just gotta keep moving on. Now, criticism. A lot of people are afraid and scared and petrified of criticism, opinions, negative opinions from other people, what they talk about you, what they say about you. And let me tell you something, people are talking about you. People are talking about you. I hate to break it down to you, but that's how it is. That's a reality. People are talking shit about you. It doesn't matter if you do right, if you do left, if you stay in the middle, if you do and go to a traditional job, or if you go and pursue your own business, or if you do nothing, people are going to criticize all three areas. So make your opinion the most important one, right? Criticism, one of the big ones. So I would say focus on the negative results. That's a perfect recipe to to be scared. All right, it comes from there. A lot of people focus on the negative instead of the positive. How much is it gonna cost me? How much am I gonna lose? What if I lose? What if I don't succeed? What if I fail? What if I don't accomplish X, right? Whatever it is your goal. But why if if focusing on the negative or positive requires the same effort, why not focus your mind on the positive, eliminate fear, and then have a better attitude when it comes to building, doing, and developing whatever it is you're developing, your business and so on. So what if I lose money? Why don't you ask yourself, what if you win? Like, what if you change your life forever? Why do we have to think, what if I fail? What if I lose my house? What if I don't succeed? What if I don't make money? What if I don't know, what if people talk shit about me? Instead of that, why don't we focus on, what if I kill it over here in this business? What if I become a millionaire? What if I can free myself and free my family? What if I can serve hundreds of people around the world? What if I can change my current situation to a better one? What if this person says no? Well, what if that person says yes? Right? So focus on the positive. A lot of time we focus on the negative. I get it. We as human beings are programmed to survive, not to succeed. The human brain is programmed to protect yourself from threats. But guess what? We don't live out there in caves anymore, hunting and doing all these things to survive. We're in an era where we all can have success. You and I have a vehicle that allows us to be successful in life. So start focusing on the positive and you'll see how your life changes and the fear disappears, because that's where it comes from. If you notice, everything that I've listed in here are false, right? They're not real. You're deciding to focus on the things that you perceive that people might be thinking about you. And I have a really, really important point about other people's opinions, because we need to see what the reality of the situation is. And the reality of things is that I don't know if 95% is the exact number. I doubt it, but that's what they say. But 95% of things we worry about never happen, right? Might be 92%, might be 93, might be 97. I don't know. I don't care. The point is, most things we care about and we worry about and we concern about never happen. Think about it. When's the last time that you really had a true concern? You were worried about something and it actually happened, right? Probably not too much. I'm not saying nothing is ever gonna happen and life's gonna be perfect. Of course not. I'm just saying we worry too much. Stop worrying about stupid things. Just live your life and just be happy, man. Just be happy, right? Things are not gonna happen. If they happen, we solve them, right? That's a better approach to this reality. And this is kind of one that I was talking to you guys probably 1 or 2 minutes ago. We worry so much about what other people think about us when in reality they're not even thinking about us. Think about that, all right? What makes you think that everybody around you is thinking about you, right? If you analyze your day today, right, Friday, how many times have you spent today thinking about other people's actions, the way they dress, the way they act, the way they behave, the way they live their life, their families, what they have for lunch, breakfast, where to go to school? I don't know. How much time do you really spend focusing and thinking of other people? Not much time. You're dealing with your own stuff, you're dealing with your problems, your own shit, your own success, your own kids, your family, your business, your reality. You're dealing with your own life and your own reality. We are not thinking of other people. What makes you believe you're so important all of a sudden that everybody is thinking about you and focusing on you and thinking of you and what you're doing? They are not. People are thinking about their own life, their own situations, and their own things. So when you come and show the business, when you invite somebody, when you prospect, when you apply this mindset to any of the skills that we've seen so far, then keep that in mind. Nobody cares, right? And if they care, they're gonna care for a little bit and they're gonna move on. And so are you, hopefully, because if you allow somebody else's opinions of you for a brief moment that they think of you and you stop and you quit, then what does that make you? It makes you a failure that nobody ever is gonna remember. Okay? Nobody's even gonna remember that. So keep that in mind. Everybody has an opinion of you, including yourself. Make yours the most important one. If everyone has an opinion of you, well, you know what? I'm gonna say make yours the most important one. If everybody thinks this person thinks this about me, this person thinks that about me, that person over there thinks this, and the person behind me thinks this, well, I think highly of me, and I believe that my thoughts of me and my opinions of myself are way more important than anybody else's because I'm the one who lives with myself. I'm the one who's thinking about my stuff every single day, and I'm the one who needs to move forward, take the action, and carry my own opinion and carry my own conversations with myself all the time. So I'm gonna put my own opinion of me as the most important one and as priority. All right. Now, part of the reality is that you know, take action. I mean, one of the things that most people regret is the things that they didn't do. So take action, try new things, do the project, do the business, do whatever you want to do, live your life, and start losing the fear because we, at this point, I hope it makes sense that fear doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. Take action, try new things. The biggest regrets of human beings start with, what if I had? Think about it. If you do for the next 5 years of your life the same thing you've been doing for the past 5 years, where are you gonna be 5 years from now? Are you gonna be in the same place? Are you gonna be stuck? Are you gonna be poor, broke, rich? I don't know. Everybody's answer is different. But what if you keep doing the same thing that you've been doing for the past 5 years? Where exactly are you going to be in 5 years? That's how you predict your future. You create it today. And if you keep doing today the things you did in the past, then you have a fair prediction of what your future is gonna look like. So don't be that guy, don't be that person who goes and turns 70, 80, goes to the hospital and is about to die and it's just regretting the things that they never tried, they never did. All right. You're gonna die. That's for sure. The only thing that's for sure is dying. We're all gonna die at some point. So how do you want to live your life? When you're about to die and you look back at your life and your memories and your legacy and your family and everything you're leaving behind, how do you want your story to be told? What do you want said about you? What do you want to feel when you look at your life and you say, hey, I did this, I made this happen, I was successful, or I should have done this, I missed out on this opportunity, I could have done better for my family, I could have done bigger things with my life, I wish I had another chance. That sucks, man. That really does. This whole, thought of thinking about that, it's just, it's hard, right? But if I think when I'm about to die, I left behind me a beautiful family with values and a beautiful life that I created and a beautiful reality because I gave it the effort and I took on the opportunities that life put ahead in front of us and I decided I was going to live without fear. Then I eliminated fear. I lived a life full of faith and I made good stuff happen. I invite you to think the same way. Do the same thing. Eliminate fear. It's not real. You don't have to eliminate it because it's not real. You just have to see that and acknowledge that it's not real. It's not there. It hasn't happened yet. So choose faith and choose to take on the opportunities and fuck everybody else's opinion and put yours right there. All right? Guys, that's my message to you today. It's just a matter of how seriously are you going to take the opportunities that you currently have, and if you're going to get rid of fear and go out there and make stuff happen. Life's too short. Time flies. We're already in June. Half of the year is already gone. So how are those goals that you set out to 2025 in January 1st or December 31st of last year? Are they on their way? Are they behind? Are you acting on them? Or are you just staying in the same spot? That would suck. So eliminate fear, go for faith, make stuff happen. And I will see you at the top because the bottom is way too crowded with mediocre people who never dare to do something special with their life and take an opportunity. Don't pass an opportunity. Take him. Let's go.